Hello, my name is Crystal Medina, and I recently matched with MIT through the QuestBridge National College Match. And I wanted to make this video as kind of an in-depth overview of obviously the stuff that everybody is interested in, like my stats and ECs and stuff, but also my experience overall applying through QuestBridge, especially for people who want to apply next year, and how that experience was for me. Right now, I'm just going to play a short clip of my reaction. I mean, it's just like one screen, but it's just a short clip, and then I'll get into everything.
Pero después como se me fue destruyendo la uña mía, ya casi no tenía uña y me tuve que...
Oh my god!
Mica, ¿qué fue?
So there will be timestamps for you guys that are only interested in knowing like one part, especially if you're not applying through QuestBridge, you don't have to watch that part, but I'm going to start with my demographics, which is something I feel like a lot of people don't touch on and I think is very important in the college admissions process. I live in South Florida and I go to a small, very small, magnet high school, which is, a magnet high school is essentially a public high school, and there's only 160 students in my graduating class, so it's a relatively small school, especially compared to some of the public schools down in the area that I live in. Besides that, I'm a low-income, first-generation Latina student. Sounds very corny, like me saying it, but those are the demographics that I've been into. My mom is Honduran and my dad is Puerto Rican, and you know, the low income was the reason that I decided to apply through QuestBridge, because they do have, you know, you do have to make below a certain income in order to apply. And with all of that, my intended major at MIT is mechanical engineering. That's what I kind of structured, at least the last 2 years of my high school years. That's what I kind of structure them around, is wanting to pursue mechanical engineering. And now on to my stats. So I took the SAT and the ACT. I took the SAT 4 times and I took the ACT twice. The first time I took the SAT, I got a 1400. The second time I took it, I got a 1450, and the third time I took it, I got a 1460. But those were within the same week. And then the last time I took it, which was the score that I ended up settling on, was a 1568. But between my third and fourth, I really invested a lot of time into studying for the SAT, which is why I jumped up so many points. And then the ACT, first time I took it, I got a 33, and the second time I took it, I got a 34, and I didn't feel the need to take it again, so that was what I settled on. And for my GPA, my unweighted GPA is a 4.0. My weighted, my county does it out of 6 points instead of 5, so it's a little bit weird, but I had a 5.17 weighted GPA, which I'm assuming the equivalent would be around a 4.6. And yeah. And now for my classes, my freshman year, I took, I'll just talk about core classes. I took Algebra 2, AP World History, English, just English class. I just took honors. Then for science, I took chemistry, regular honors chemistry, and that's about it for my core classes. Then in my sophomore year, I took English honors again, physics honors, pre-calc, and computer science principles. That's the only one that really matters, because I used to want to major in computer science or software engineering. That was like my first interest, at least by my like sophomore year. In my freshman year, I had no idea what I wanted to study, but in sophomore year, computer science was what piqued my interest, taking the class. Like I liked it, not like a crazy amount, but it was what I was thinking about majoring in. My junior year, I took AP Calc AB, AP Chemistry, I took English honors again, I took AP US History, and I did my first year of robotics. I was already on the robotics team. I joined at the same time that I took that class. And now in my senior year, I'm taking AP Physics C Mechanics, AP Calc BC, AP Gov, AP Lang, and that's about it for my core classes, and I'm doing my second year of robotics. And yeah, now I'm going to talk about my ECs. So contrary to a lot of people that make these kinds of videos, I was not involved from like my freshman year. I was not in any extracurriculars my freshman year, and I was in one club my sophomore year that I joined for, because everybody was in a club, so I just joined the green club, which is like recycling and stuff, and they don't even have the club in my school anymore, I don't think. But my junior year is where I really started to get involved, and I'll talk about that a bit more later. My junior year, I joined Mu Alpha Theta, which is the Math Honor Society. I joined the International Robotics Honor Society. I joined Science National Honor Society. And I think that is about it. I can't remember any more off the top of my head. And then of course I was on the robotics team, which is one of my, like, it's my main extracurricular. And between my junior and senior year, I did an internship. It wasn't under like some crazy like thing. It was just at a school that I live near that is a very big public high school that has a very robust robotics program. My robotics program at my school is relatively small, and we aren't very well funded, so I wanted to work under like some people that do have, you know, that type of funding, and kind of learn from them. So that's what I did between my junior and senior year. Also, I forgot to mention before that between my sophomore and junior year, I volunteered at a summer camp for underprivileged children. I did about 280 hours of community service there. I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. And in total, I ended up with about 940 volunteer hours in my entire time at my school. This year, I'm the president of Mu Alpha Theta. I ran last year. I'm still in Science National Honor Society. I'm the vice president of the International Robotics Honor Society. I'm in Rho Kappa, which is the History Honor Society. And I think that was about it. I'm still on the robotics team. And yeah. Now I just kind of want to ramble about my experience with QuestBridge. I just hit my hand on something. This is probably going to be the longest part of the video. So essentially, when I applied to QuestBridge, I had no idea how it worked. I knew that it was a binding thing and that it was a full ride. That's all I knew. I did not know that it was a separate application portal from Common App. I thought it was like a scholarship that I was applying for. So, you know, I was quite surprised when I found out that I was actually applying to the schools like through QuestBridge. My decision to apply through QuestBridge, it was made very last minute, I guess. I did it within like 2 weeks. And basically I had seen stuff about QuestBridge and applying for QuestBridge and things like that. And I knew it was going to be a somewhat tedious application. I knew it was one of the bigger, like, well, I thought it was a scholarship at the time, so I thought it was a bigger scholarship. So I knew it was going to be a really tedious process. And so the thing that made me decide to do QuestBridge was getting reached out to by a QuestBridge, I guess you would say alum, because I got a message from someone who now reaches out to people for QuestBridge who did QuestBridge. I think she did it. Actually, I'm not even gonna guess because I don't remember. But she was like, if you have any questions about QuestBridge, feel free to let me know, because I had opened an application in July and I just never got to it. And so at that point, I had kind of made the decision that I wasn't gonna do it. And so she reached out to me and I started asking her questions about how the process works and et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should just do it. You know, it's a chance for a full ride. And so let me just get to it. So I did my application within 2 weeks. It was somewhat tedious. I think if I had given myself more time, then I would have definitely not had such a hard time doing it. I mean, I was like literally writing my last writing supplements on the day that it was due, or I think it might have been the day before that it was due. So yeah, I would say definitely think about what you're gonna write on your applications, and like think about it thoroughly, because these are your writing supplements for a lot of schools. So what I didn't know before I applied is that a lot of schools will get rid of the writing supplements that they have and just look at your QuestBridge supplements, and they'll keep maybe one of their own supplements or two of their own supplements or three of their own supplements. The only school I had that had every single one of its supplements was, I think, Duke and Princeton. They do all of their supplements, but MIT, I only had to do one supplement. Johns Hopkins didn't make me do any supplements. And I think Yale, I did one or two supplements. So your writing supplements for your actual QuestBridge application, that's what colleges are going to be looking at. And so you really need to put as much effort as you can into those writing supplements and really be yourself and show who you are. I feel like this is a thing that a lot of people emphasize in the college admissions process, but you really have to differentiate yourself from other people. Because at least when it comes to top schools, the people that are applying are going to have, they're all going to have amazing extracurriculars. They're all going to have amazing stats. They're all going to have great grades. So what's going to make you stand out is how much individuality you have. And so the best way to show that is through your writing supplements, especially the QuestBridge supplements, where there's like a whole short answer section that kind of is like a get to know me type thing. So really, those are short, but make them count, because they really show who you are. And then of course the actual QuestBridge essay, which is 800 words instead of 650 like the Common App one. And then I kind of want to talk about my essays a little bit, in the sense that I was kind of scared when it came to writing my supplements, because I'm not very articulate, if you couldn't tell just from watching this video. I'm not very good at expressing what I want to say, like through words or through writing, especially because I've always loved math and science and not really cared too much about English. So I wrote my main QuestBridge essay about a mental health issue that I face, which might shock you, because people are always like, don't write any essays that use some cliche topic that everybody else is going to be writing about. And I think that's somewhat true, in the sense that obviously a different type of essay topic will make you stand out from other people, but I don't think it's like impossible to get in. Obviously, using a cliche essay topic, what matters is how you write it. And one thing that I despise, this is just me personally, don't, take this to heart. If you want to write a metaphor essay, write a metaphor essay. But obviously, it just irks me, because I've just seen so many metaphor essays in, the time that I've been like researching like how to write supplements and things like that. And I think if you do it well, obviously it can work. But I feel like a lot of people are kind of using it as this like formulaic thing, where like if you write this, you'll get into your dream school. You have to tug out their heartstrings and like make them cry, and talk about some like paper clips or something, and then tie that to how your mom died or something like that. And I think that it can definitely work for some people, especially if you're a good writer, unlike me. I'm not a very good writer. But yeah, that's just one thing that I personally don't like. So I did not write a cliche metaphor essay. But my essay topic was very cliche. I would say my main tip for writing your main essay, whether it be for Common App or QuestBridge, I wrote my Common App essay before I wrote my QuestBridge essay, actually. My main tip would probably be find a way to connect what you really want to talk about, so whatever the topic of your essay is, to what you want to study. I feel like that's something that lacks in a lot of people's essays. They kind of go off into a tangent of like something they're passionate about, or like whatever metaphor they're using, but they don't find a way to make it flow into what they want to study, or don't like kind of merge them into one thing. So that's like my main tip. I can't really give too many tips besides that because, again, I'm not a great writer, but that would be my main piece of advice. And once I found out about my finalist status, obviously I was extremely excited, but what I did not know is that I was going to have to do all my supplements within 2 weeks. And that was definitely a time I stayed up very late every night to work on the supplements. And it's also because I'm an extremely bad procrastinator, and that's actually something that I talked about in one of my QuestBridge supplements. It's how bad I am at procrastinating, but how I'm working towards fixing that. And yeah, it was an interesting 2 weeks. So I would say definitely, if the schools that you are applying through QuestBridge, you are also intending to apply through Common App, get started on those supplements before you even know if you're a finalist. Like, it'll make your life so much easier. That's why I ended up ranking only actually ranked 6 schools at first. My sixth school was Northwestern, and I ended up taking it off of my match list. I edited my match list and or my ranking, and I took Northwestern off there mostly because I wasn't super interested in attending this school, just because it was mainly because of like the weather and stuff, and like going from South Florida to like, you know, Illinois, like northern Illinois, would have been like insane. Obviously, going from Florida to anywhere, the weather is like an insane change, but especially there where the winters are like terrible. And also it would have been 3 extra supplements that I had to write, so I definitely was kind of looking for a reason to take it off of there. But I only ranked 5 schools. MIT was my first choice, then Princeton, Yale, Duke, and Johns Hopkins. Then I did all my applications for each of the schools, did my CSS, and now I did my FAFSA now that it's open. But yeah, I was definitely not expecting to match with MIT. Like, I'm being completely honest. I know a lot of people, you know, they feel very confident about their stats and their extracurriculars, and they're like, they think that they deserve to get in. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think you should totally have confidence and think that you deserve to get into your dream school. But I was going in completely thinking that, you know, either I didn't match, but I also thought that there was a possibility that I wouldn't match with any of the schools that I ranked. I fully thought that was a possibility. And actually, before I like looked at my match decision, I didn't tell anybody except for one of my friends, because I didn't want to sort of hype it up with like the people in my life and then have it be a disappointment if I didn't match with any of the schools that I ranked. So I was like, it was a surreal moment, really. I mean, you can watch the video. Like, my mom is like, well, actually, no, I don't think that's it. That's in the video, but my mom screamed at me because she did not know what I was reacting to, and so she thought that someone had died. But yeah, I covered my eyes when I was looking at my decision because I was just so nervous. My heart was pounding. And yeah, that's about everything that I have to say about the QuestBridge application process. I applied to 5 schools through Common App as well. My applications are withdrawn as we speak, but that process was fine. It was not too different from the QuestBridge application process. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to put my Instagram in the comment section if any of you want to reach out to me personally and ask any questions. As if, you know, thousands of people are gonna watch this video. But, you know, if, you know, one of the 10 people who watch this video want to like reach out to me personally and like ask any questions, I'll put that in the description. So thank you. Go Beavers.